Hey there, today the mood of the day is in Pisces, where we are connecting with a bigger picture. That could bring in dreams, imagination, it could bring in a lot of sensitivity or feelings, and ultimately it is helping us connect with a bigger picture of wisdom and our heart's bigger picture of knowing. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Tuesday, June 17th. So, a little bit of a different vibe today. Not only has the moon gone into Pisces, kind of helping us to hopefully chill out, but also remember that we are feeling all the feelings. And so we need to take care of ourselves and connect with our deeper needs, our spiritual needs, what our hearts want, what our hearts know to be true. And we now have the planet Mars now in Virgo. So, Mars, remember, is how we take action. It's how we move and how we experience that urge, that impulse to act and move and do things and what we feel compelled to do. So, we have had Mars in Leo, which is a fire sign. It's expressive, it's creative, that movement to feeling moved to express ourselves, to speak our truth, to live out loud, to be seen, and to express and bring on the attention with Mars in Leo. Let me do what I'm doing, and I want an audience. So we have this different vibe now with Mars in Virgo. It's saying that how we move forward needs to get a little bit more rolling up the sleeves, attending to the details, more methodical, more grounded, more practical. So, following that energy of Leo and the expressive qualities of Leo, we have the Virgo energy that says, okay, how are you going to make that work? How are you going to really do that, right? Like, so really checking in with what will it take? What do you need to do? Where do you need to make adjustments? What does this really mean in practical terms? And so we are kind of shifting gears to get a little more grounded, a little more hands on, focusing on, okay, how are we going to sustain the things that we have put in motion, the ways we've been feeling compelled to express our truth, our needs, right? So, what does it really look like to implement, to get those gears actually turning and staying turning and moving forward consistently? So, with Mars and Virgo, we're not talking about big leaps, we're talking about step by step process that is real, that is tangible, and that gets results. So, what does that look like? And of course, the moon in Pisces, just as the moon entered, well, right before the moon entered Pisces, it formed that opposition with Mars because the moon opposing Mars and that T square with Uranus took place right before Mars went into Virgo. So anyway, but now we have the moon in Pisces and the energy, the mood of that Pisces need to remember who we are in the bigger picture, to remember that we are connected to source, to the divine, whatever that means for you. What do you need to feel connected to something bigger, to feel loved? How can you bring in that unconditional love through your actions and choices, maybe your Virgo actions, right? Bringing unconditional love in through the tangible, practical, methodical, step by step, detail oriented approach of Mars. How can you bring in something that is bigger picture? So, whatever you're working on, right? If you're a proofreader and you have that great Mars in Virgo energy that says, okay, what's wrong here? How can we fix it? Maybe you're a proofreader, maybe you're doing construction, maybe you're working on an art project, and you just have that ability to see, this is not going to work, right? This is not right. Or there's an imperfection here that needs to be fixed. And so it is that striving for perfection that helps us to ultimately be in service to that bigger picture of the Pisces energy, the bigger picture of the divine and that connection with something greater than ourselves. So having the humility of Mars in Virgo to bring in that bigger picture of the heart's truth and the bigger picture of wisdom and meaning and spiritual needs in through our actions. So, for instance, if you have a cause that you care about, or a project you're working on, or something that you want to move forward, something you want to see get results, thinking about what is it going to look like now maybe that you've found your voice to articulate what you want it to be, or what you care about, or what you want to share from your own truth. Now asking yourself, okay, what are the steps I need to take? What does it look like in my day-to-day life? How do I implement this? What do I need to do? What is the plan? And then also thinking about how through taking those day-to-day actions, you are also being a channel for that bigger picture of something greater than yourself. So, how are you bringing in that feeling of interconnectedness with others, that connection to a bigger truth, to meaning, to either bringing in more love or more compassion, or something that is a bigger picture of a dream or a vision that you have? So, working with that Mars energy and thinking about how to make it serve the greater good. What is your greater good? And so we are in the waning moon phase of this moon cycle, the waning half of this moon cycle, and we are heading toward that third quarter moon. So we're almost 3/4 of the way through the moon cycle, continuing to integrate and work on the energy that we put in place with the Gemini new moon. So information, narratives, storytelling, learning, information, processing, problem solving. What does that look like? That's what we are working on in this moon cycle. And so this is the next step of remembering what your heart wants, what has meaning, connecting with the dream, connecting with your imagination, the big why. What is your big why? Thanks for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com, and I have that member site available. You can find the link in the description for this video. Thanks so much for being here and subscribing to this YouTube channel. I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye for now.